The first thing I had to do was completely gut and rip out the old interior of my van. In my case, it was an interior that I built about a year before, actually. I just got bored of it, so I thought I wanted to change. So yeah, I had to completely rip it out, rip all the panels off, all the roof lining had to come down, all the little clips, basically just completely clean out the back of the van, so it was just a metal shell in the back. And that's where I could start from. The problem I had with my van is, because mine was a Caravel, in the rear right corner of the van, it had this big fan unit that pumped cold air up into the roof lining via a vent which is built into the rear window. So when I ripped all the interior out, obviously I had to get rid of all that as well. But what it did leave was this vent, the completely open vent on the rear, on the side of the back window. So what I'd done was I pulled the tray out that was inside inside the vent. I vinyl wrapped that to make it completely watertight, and then I epoxy resin that back in, and this is what it ended up looking like. Then it was time to get all my tongue and groove wood ready, lined up outside the back of the van, and get on with it. Well, the hard part of getting the first one on in the right place so the rest of it flows is done. I managed to get a gorgeous perfect curve all the way from the ceiling transition there. Look at that. Look at that curve. Also done it all in single piece. I don't want any joins anywhere, so I've got the long bits, so it's single piece all the way to the back of the van. So this curve, look at that, curves up all the way across. Now I can just slat them all in, and then when I get to this point, oh, where is it? Here, I've got to try and bring it down again. But the hardest part was this, making sure that was in the right spot for the rest to flow from it. Oh, happy days. Now I've got to figure out where these are going. Maybe along here. There's 3 there, 3 there. After I got the first lot of lights in, then I could just work my way across, doing the tongue and groove, as you can see here, working my way to the other side until I got to the other curve, started bringing it down the wall. As you can see, it started to look alright, you know. As it started coming down the sides, it just flowed. The trick is to get that first piece in the right place so everything else flows from it. I've got to admit, the corners were a bit tough, but once you get a nice curve on them, and you can keep the tongue and groove to stay in, if that makes sense, then you're onto a winner. What I did on this section of the wall, as you can see, is I had to run my power cable and my aerial wire for my TV that I planned to put on that wall. So as you can see there, I wanted it completely hidden. So when you got in the van, all you could see was a nice TV on the wall, no wires or anything like that. So that's why I did that. And that was it. The last thing to do there was to use some browning wax. I used browning wax by Friend Chic. Yeah, give it the whole thing a good coat of browning wax, let it soak into the wood, let it dry out, and this is the finished result.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough.
In the next video I'll be showing how I did the floor, so like and subscribe to see more. Cheers.